good afternoon. Happy birthday to you, even if it's not your real birthday today, because welcome to the first day of the rest of your life, even though it is the afternoon for me and not the morning for a change. And of course, every day is your birthday if you choose to celebrate it and judge it as so, or treat it as so. Perhaps better than judge it as so. Let's not judge each other, shall we? Yes, happy birthday. Welcome to the first day of the rest of your life. Hope you're having a lovely day. We've got quite a few people to wish happy birthdays to, so we're going to do that in a moment by blowing out the candles on our cake, our imaginary cake here, and make a wish, think some positive thoughts as we're blowing out the candles and wishing all these people happy birthday. A few from yesterday and a few from today as well. Happy birthday to you all, and hello, good morning, good afternoon, sorry, to viewer. Can't see who the viewer is, but good morning to you. So just going to run through the names quickly from yesterday, from Monday. We have Marcy, Richard, Danielle, Emma Kirkham, who makes lovely glass things, Hoohizzel Schwizzle, very cool name there, no idea who you are, but there you go. Dave Blade Brown, which sounds like a cool name, not sure why the blade is in there, but happy birthday to you. Graham Hill, who does telephone answering service down in Newbury, hello Graham. Ben Dorks, who I used to work with in a company called Power Forms, I think it was, wasn't it, up in Nottingham. That's always fun. And Rainer Schwartz, German guy who I used to work with in the pharmaceutical world. So happy birthday to all of you from yesterday. From today, Becky Haywood, Alan Beckley, Vez Marinova, who does some very cool Facebook stories, always. Sanna, Sophia, I'm not even going to try the surname, but happy birthday to you. I think I met you in London, but I'm not sure if we actually ever met in, well, if we spoken, I can't remember. I spoke to somebody on the phone whose name I think was Sanna. Was you? I'm not sure if that was you, but if it was you, happy birthday to you. Cindy, Jack Goodchild, who's the son of a guy who runs a website which I can't remember what it's called. T4S, Traffic for Sales, I think it's called. Kamila, of course, property lady, oh gosh, what do you call herself? The Airbnb stuff. Anyway, I keep wanting to sell self-assessment girl, but that's clearly not what it was. It's service accommodation, SA girl. SA girl, that's right, you did say yes, it is SA girl. Service accommodation girl. Anyway, Neil Lawman, Ben Margiles, and Becky Ash. So all happy birthday for today. Happy birthday to all of you for today. Right, blowing out the candles. Sorry, that took a long time, didn't it, to do that little bit. But anyway, we're going to get imaginary cake out. We're going to take breathe 5 through the nose, hold it for 5, and then blow out the candles on that cake and think some positive thoughts. Also a good technique for helping people with anxiety and panic attacks. Ideally do it 5 times. And think of all the best birthdays you ever had in your life. Kind of cool. Right, so clear your lungs out first. All right, 5 in through the nose. Hold for 5. 4, 3, 2, 1, and blow out the candles on your cake and think positive thoughts. Whilst also wishing happy birthday to all those people, those lovely people whose actual birthdays it is, and yourself, of course. Happy birthday to yourself. That's why you can blow out the candles on your imaginary birthday cake every single day to help you with your anxiety and panic attacks, or even just to feel good and get some more oxygen into your lungs and start to feel a little bit better. Get out into nature, stand under some trees, get some phytocides inside your lungs, start feeling better for all of that. I've completely forgotten to start my clock that I normally start. So I have no idea how much time I have to be talking, but I did notice that while I was doing the birthdays it was 16:06 as I was recording this, so as long as I aim to finish at about 16:16 I'll be plenty of time, under 10 minutes, so there you go. We are going to talk about time, and I was going to start off with this, wasn't it? I want to try and start these lives with the title straight away, but I keep forgetting because I'm so used to doing it. I've been doing these for a year now. I've got this muscle memory thing that my friend David pointed out the other day. So yeah, managing time and your thoughts to have a better life is what we're going to talk about today. Because I haven't been here for a couple of days, I did my confession time on Saturday, and then I was supposed to be here on Monday, yesterday, in the morning, and I wasn't. And then I wasn't even early this morning either. So it's been almost, I don't know, Saturday to now, whenever that is, about three and a half days. It's been a while. One of the reasons I missed yesterday was because I stayed up until 5 o'clock in the morning doing some work on my diary book of business, because I needed to get that done before Russia started. My Russian software development team started at 6 a.m. UK time. So yes, I need to get that up and running. It all looks like it's looking good though. So, and that's the other reason why I was a little bit late this morning as well, because I got a reply from them first thing this morning. I was like, oh, I need to deal with that first thing this morning. So anyway, that's why I'm a little bit late. Getting started. I hope you're all well though, and you're looking forward to learning how to manage your time and change. So these come from the YouTube videos from Evan Carmicheal, linked in the description below. The top 10 from Louise Hay, and the top 5 surprising habits as well. Not much from the surprising habits, although I think one of those was successful people don't make excuses, which is what I'm about to do. And also that something fell on my head. Managing, and one of them said we can only manage time and change. And I thought, well, that's not strictly speaking true. I mean, yes, those are the only two things that we can cope with. We can manage what we do with our time, and we can deal with change. That's the classic quote that I regularly use, which is the problem is not the problem is your attitude towards the problem, from Jack Sparrow. But I think actually it's your thoughts which then allow you to deal with change, and your thoughts that allow you to deal with any situation. That is the important things to do, and managing what you do with your time, which then comes into kind of also your thoughts as well. So I think a lot of it is basically, it's all down to managing your thoughts manages your whole world. So if you can control and think about what you're thinking and manage what you're thinking and how you're thinking it, then you can control your whole life, because all your life lives inside your head. Everything happens inside your head. So it's entirely up to you to choose how you want to spend that time inside your own head. And now, of course, what you think about then impacts on what you actually physically do in the outside world as well. So what you spend your time doing. So that's all very important. And that's basically what's happened to me. So I've done other things. I reprioritize other things over and above doing these lives for the last 2 days. I'm not sure it was particularly helpful to me, but it is what it is. But that's what it is. It's about managing your time, doing choices. Remember, I always say it's really important to make your own choices as to what you're going to do with your time, and choosing what you're thinking about as well. So that's why it's time and thoughts, I think. What you do with your time and what you think. And you can choose both of those things. I can choose what I want to do with my time, and I can choose my thoughts. Now, obviously, most people can't choose their thoughts initially because they don't know that they're having the thoughts. But as soon as you can start to manage your thoughts and control them and change them, then that is how you gain control of them, and therefore you can manage your entire world by thinking different thoughts. And that's what I teach in my 7-day training course, 7-day course, which is now looking like the next one's going to be the 21st of March. It's going to be the next one. I'm going to give myself a bit more time because I'm doing a course in between, starting on, I think, the 8th to the 14th-ish or thereabouts. So starting mine on the 14th would have been really tricky because I'd have been flat out during the week before that, helping out somebody else, but also learning how to present my course better. So that's all going to be very much fun for the 21st. I hope you're looking forward to that. And come and join me on that. It'll be fantastic. So just want to run through some of the things that Louise Hay said on her presentation, which you can go and watch in the links description below. Oh, by the way, also the Blinkist book of the day was really interesting today. It's all about midlife crises. So as somebody who was in their midlife, a lot of it resonated with me. I particularly like the way they started up saying, hello Maxine, how you doing? Happy birthday to you, because this is the first day of the rest of your life too. By the way, a lot of those people on my birthday list were in America, so it's probably a better time for them, isn't it? Because it's, what is it? Sort of midday-ish, 11 o'clock. Anyway, for people on the East Coast at least anyway. Yes, particularly interesting to say, they were saying you get to the midlife and kind of death seems a little bit closer than it did when you were much younger, and your body isn't quite acting as it did when you were younger as well. You're starting to feel your mortality a little bit more. That's what's going on with your sort of midlife crisis stuff. I'm actually probably fitter than I've been probably most of my life. I looked at myself in the mirror the other day and I was seeing myself, I'm looking quite good, I have to say. There you go. So, yeah, just a couple of these things. I'll run through these. the first thing was, and all these notes, by the way, are in description as well, way down the bottom of the description as well. Successful people don't make excuses, so I'm not making excuses. I've just decided, and I've chosen to do things differently over the last couple of days, and so I'm not making excuses. I'm just saying this is what happened. So I always talk about reasons in the past and excuses in the future. So you can use excuses in the future to stop yourself being successful in the future, or stop yourself doing things in the future. But the reasons are the why you did things in the past. So reasons being a past thing, excuses being a future thing. Learn lessons from things and then test them. So just because you think you've learned something doesn't necessarily mean you have learned something, because until you've tested it and proved to yourself that you can do it, this comes back to the thing we said a couple of days ago, which is those little tasks you can set yourself to prove to yourself that you can do things and you can keep promises to yourself, which then improves your self-confidence, because where does your confidence come from? You trust yourself, trust yourself, and you can trust yourself to keep your promises to yourself, and therefore you can improve your self-confidence. That's how you do that. Small little things, promises to yourself, keep them, show yourself you can keep them, and your self-confidence builds up. And you can start from tiny little things as well. But yeah, prove to yourself that you can do that. So once you've learnt the lesson, test it. We're all doing the best that we can with the information we have at the time, so don't beat yourself up too much for doing things. Hello Margaret, how are you? Kind of a cool thing she said as well, which was release with love. So when you break up with someone or something, so a job, or you let go of something, or you sell something, or you break up with somebody romantically, release them with love and say, thank you for being a part of my life up until now, and now you're going on to allow somebody else to have somebody else to have the joy of this thing that you're giving up, whatever it is. It's kind of a cool thing. Hello, happy birthday David. I can't remember if it was your birthday today. Happy birthday Dave. Let me just double check if it was yesterday or today. Dave Blade Brown was yesterday's happy birthday. Happy birthday Dave. What was I saying? Oh yes, jobs was a classic one. I have a friend called Louise who runs the dream job coach. She calls herself the dream job coach, and one of the quotes she said, which I always slightly say differently to her, is if you're not in your perfect job, then you're stealing it from somebody else. Or if you're not in your dream job. So if you're not in your dream job, then you're stealing it from somebody else, because let go of that job and bless it and let somebody else have that job, because for somebody else, it's probably their dream job. So go and find something that is your dream job. Why not? Spend your time doing something you love. See how about back to controlling your time thing that we talked about at the beginning there. So very cool. And love opens up space as well. It opens up your heart to other things and allows you to bring more love in as well. It's kind of cool. She also said choose your thoughts. That's another note in there, which I've already talked about. She also said, and this is kind of a weird one, because Joe Happiness Howard said this the other day, disease is your body saying no for you. I kind of like that, because we have this excuse, it's like I'm ill so I can't do something, and so your body will sometimes become ill in order to stop you from doing something that you shouldn't. It knows you shouldn't be doing. Kind of like this is a very deep kind of concept here, so I'm just sketching you at the top of it. But I kind of like the idea that if you don't learn to say no yourself to certain things in your life, then your body sometimes will take control and say no for you. That is certainly true. Depends on what you're talking about, of course, but just see that kind of concept in your head. Have a think about that. What things are you in your life are you not saying no to that you should be saying no to? Things that you should be saying no to, rather, in your life, that if you're not careful, your body will eventually tell you and stop you from doing, because it'll give you that it'll make you say no, basically, by giving you a heart attack or something, or your lungs will die, lungs will collapse or something. So kind of like the idea that dis-ease is your body saying no for you, eventually. Kind of cool, that. The other thing about thoughts as well, she also said in there, which is kind of cool, she says, stop scaring yourself with your own thoughts. I talked about this before. This is like anxiety about the future, which is taking stuff that's happened from your past, experiences you've had, or things that other people have told you, and then projecting them forward in the future and scaring yourself about something that might happen in the future. Don't do that. Just stop it. Just stop it. Do it. Just stop it. And then the other thing, this is really cool. Actually, I'm going to come back to this. Thoughts are like drops of water. I'm going to come back to that in a second. Because the last thing here was every word we speak and every thought we think creates our future. I like that. I'm not sure if she actually said those words. I may have made that up myself, but I'm going to claim it anyway. So every word we speak and every thought we think creates our future, and that comes back to the same thing as well. If you're saying things to people, that has an effect on your future. If you think certain thoughts, that has an effect on your future. Good afternoon. Have a lovely day. Thank you. Couple of little boys walking past. How very nice. How very nice to have young young boys, must be about 8, 9, something like that, 10 maybe, saying lovely things like that to people. How lovely. Right, just finishing off now with this concept of life. Thoughts are like drops of water. Yes, so drop of water, drip, 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 looks perfectly harmless, doesn't it? But think about that in the Chinese water torture. Imagine lying back on your face and having a drop of water drip, 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 drip on your face, and eventually that's going to become very, very annoying. And if you're thinking bad thoughts all the time, eventually that's going to cause problems. Louise Hay talks about it as being, it's dripping off you and you're creating a puddle. So you're standing in a puddle of your own negative thoughts. And he said, why don't you just choose to step outside of the puddle of your negative thoughts and start thinking some new thoughts? So yeah, because all those negative thoughts have all fallen down already. You're already, and if you keep those thoughts, eventually you'll end up drowning in your own negative thoughts. Kind of like the idea of that, but you can decide to float if you want to. It's kind of cool. Again, there's another one of these deep things, just a little bit of things to think about. And I've definitely run out of time now because I'm in 16:19 now. Crikey Moses, getting close to that 15-minute mark, aren't I already? So that was kind of like, and then I also thought the idea about there is that because she also said this about standing in front of the ocean, and I said, what kind of pot are you using to scrape the water out of the ocean? And the ocean is the abundance of the world and the universe. So there is an infinite amount of it. It's obviously not quite infinite because it's only the oceans, but the idea is, what pot have you got in your hand? Have you got a little thimble? Or have you got a bucket with holes in the bottom of it? Have you got a big jug or something like this? And you can choose what you're going to scoop up all that potential from the universe, from the ocean, and start using in the future. So yeah, what bucket are you using to scrape up all the potential of the universe from the ocean in front of you? And I thought to ourselves, we've talked before about how we have this kind of head with our unconscious thoughts and stuff, and I've always thought this is kind of like our bucket that we're scraping up the thoughts and the potential from the universe for, and filling our heads with all this positivity. We talked about the glass of water with a can of Coke, and then how much actual clean water would it take to turn that water back into a clear water again. All these thoughts, very cool things. Anyway, that's all from me. I'm hoping I'm under 15 minutes because it'd be really annoying if I had to edit this down again. I don't like doing that. Happy birthday, everybody. Love you all. Send some love out into the world. Have a lovely day. Say hello to some strangers, and wish them a happy birthday as well. They'll look at you weird and strange, but then tell them every day is your birthday. Go out and celebrate it. Take care, guys. Bye for now. Mwah. Love you all.